is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for November 15th, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining us right here on your Wednesday nights, wherever you may be. Guys, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've been live on OTB. It's just been, a crazy last week or so. But we decided to come back. We decided to talk AEW Dynamite tonight, considering it is the final AEW Dynamite before AEW Full Gear that happens this Saturday on pay-per-view. It's honestly looking like a really good card here on pay-per-view. We all know Tony Khan puts on banger pay-per-views every single time around. That's why he's basically honestly known as Mr. Pay-Per-View. But tonight's AEW Dynamite was a very interesting show. We had some matches that were predictable as all hell, and that main event, which was basically Anarchy in the Arena for free TV, was interesting, to say the least. But at the end of the day, AEW is doing what they are doing to prepare themselves for AEW Full Gear and beyond heading into 2024, and I feel like that is exactly what we got tonight. So, AEW Dynamite just doing their business as usual, I believe. Tony Khan's going to do what he has to do.
I mean, this was one of the better go-home shows that I saw. I mean, the matches didn't really intrigue me except for the one, but I think segments carried the show the most, and they got us to where we need to be for Saturday. So that's really my biggest grievance has been with that. So I'm glad that's starting to they're starting to figure that out a lot more and actually bringing some story to these matches and making people care about them before they even start.
Right. So we're going to go over everything that happened on AEW Dynamite tonight. Before we do, make sure to hit that like button, turn on the bell for all notifications, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and join the channel today. Memberships are open, so you guys can join the channel today and become an OTB family member. And when you do, you automatically get sent a link to the OTB Discord. That way, you guys can join the wonderful community that we have over there. Many channels for you guys to talk pro wrestling on. Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, Impact Wrestling, which is now going to be known as TNA heading into the new year. It's a lot of fun over there. We have a ton of community members over there, and it's absolutely just a blast to be a part of. So join the OTB family today and join the channel. Also, super chats are open. You guys can send them on in, talk to us about the show, or basically anything you guys want to talk about when it comes down to the super chats, and we'll read them at the end of the show. So have fun with that, and it's going to be a blast heading into the rest of the week and to Full Gear, because not only that, with Full Gear happening this weekend, next weekend is Survivor Series. It's War Games. So it's going to be a ton of fun over the next couple weekends. And yeah, so it's going to be very, very interesting, to say the very least. Follow us on social media. All the TikTok links are down there in the description below, but you guys can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at @PhillyMatt_. And Loft is at Loft Not Famous, basically everywhere. And Loft, on your side of the woods, what's been going on with you? Anything special? I hear you just recently put out something.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to release music as much as I can now. I'm slowly getting more equipment, and I'm moving soon, so I'm going to be in a much better space for just recording and stuff like that. So I'm going to be in a much better position as far as that goes. And ain't nothing else, I don't think. Nothing I can think of. We had a really good episode of WCW tonight. We got Aiden versus LA Knight. Yeah. At the WCW Cold Day in Hell, WCW's first ever show in Montreal, Canada. Aiden defending the World Championship against him. And Aiden says he wants to go to SmackDown as well. So, I mean, he's on a whole bidding war as well. He got a bidding war of his own going on. So, LA Knight might go over. I'm just saying. A little spoiler alert. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just match. LA Knight might just go over in the main event. You might see Aiden next SmackDown. So.
Interesting.
Face of, LA Knight might be the new face of WCW Nitro. So
Yeah, there you go. So go check out anything that you have over there for WCW on Lost channels
that's what I meant to
whenever.
tell you. That's what I meant to tell you, Phil. We signed Chris Danger as well, and he has a main event
I
match.
saw that.
He has a match. He's in the co-main event for the. We made the Bray Wyatt was the last champion for Thunder. So when
Right.
he unfortunately passed away, we retired his championship and we made a new championship, and he's defending against our champion right now. His name is the SWAT, and Chris Danger there could be a chance for LA Knight and Chris Danger are the two champions of both our brands, and that could be freaking. Oh my god,
that is insane. Yes, that is definitely insane. I saw the Chris Danger signing, man. That's huge. That's huge for WCW. So,
awesome.
like I said, go check out all the stuff that WAF has over there when it comes down to WCW. I'm actually going to be cracking down some more things when it comes down to this weekend's live streams. Yeah. I got to get back into the swing of things. It's just been very, very busy over here, guys. So you guys are going to have to, bear with me when it comes down to that. But at the end of the day, we're going to be getting things crystal clear and ready for everything that I have over there on my end when it comes to that kind of a deal. So thank you guys for all the love and support. And yeah, let's just get right into this, guys. So, Lof, we kick things off hot and heavy when it came down to AEW Dynamite tonight, because after the, initial pyro and everything like that, the whole welcome to AEW Dynamite, we saw everybody make their entrance for this tag team match between Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And the Blackpool Combat Club members of John Moxley and Weird Yuta. And, we just see the Blackpool Combat Club members come from the crowd. And Orange Cassidy and Hook said, you know what, fuck this shit. We're just going to take this into our own hands. And they started brawling in the crowd before the match even could begin. This basically prompted for the match to begin once we actually got things all squared away and settled down and everything. But this match was honestly a really good opener, I feel, to the show. I mean, Orange Cassidy, as the international champion, he always has to open the show. It's like a curse at this point. Whoever is the international champion just opens Dynamite every single week. I feel like I haven't seen an opener without Orange Cassidy since 2023 got started. Like, seriously, I feel like it's been that long. But at the end of the day, this tag team match was really good. I like Hook. I like Orange Cassidy. Not many people do, but I do. And then the Blackpool Combat Club are fantastic. I mean, I don't see how this match could have been bad in any way, shape, or form.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I enjoy Hook and Orange Cassidy being a tag team. Beyond the fact that I just don't like Orange Cassidy, I don't think Hook should be a tag team superstar.
I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there.
I think Hook should be in a higher spot to where he's at. Like he's like lower mid card right now. I really think he should be higher, just off of pure ability. I feel like the hype over him has gone down just because of, like, I don't want to say mediocre booking, but not booking to where you're keeping up the hype of when it was like the first Send Hook shit started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not really doing much with him. And it's kind of a shame considering, I mean, look, the FTW Championship is not even recognized by AEW as like a legit championship within the company. So you got him just walking around with this FTW title for his father at this point, and it's like, okay. I mean, he beat Jungle Boy Jack Perry for the thing at the buy-in for All In. And that's basically where this whole thing got started. And now Jungle Boy's out because he's been suspended or whatever from that whole situation with Punk, who eventually got fired from AEW at the whole deal. But regardless, it has nothing to do with Punk. It's just that they're not doing anything with Hook. So they're just trying to find his place. And Orange Cassidy was that thing. Wasn't a bad match by any means. We just don't know where he's going,
Yeah, it just the match did what it was supposed to do. It's just
because the main story here is Orange Cassidy and Moxley, who fight at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
For the title. So I mean, that's basically the whole story there. I did like the detail though. Huh? What's that?
Do you like Wheeler Yuta?
He's hit or miss for me at times. I feel like that seatbelt. I feel like that seatbelt finisher that he has is ridiculous. Your finisher is a pinfall.
Yeah, it just I don't know.
Great. You need an actual finisher. Like
that might be it.
He's the weak link of the Blackpool Combat Club, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it because he either gets pinned every single time, or he's just not in the matches.
If he's not the wheel,
you think of Blackpool Combat Club.
Like that.
You think of Blackpool Combat Club, you think of Mox, you think of Brian, and you think of Claudio. Wheeler's cool, but there's not much to him. To me.
I want them to replace him with some. You know, I had a dream the other day.
I would love it if Cassius Ohno replaced that guy. Imagine Cassius Ohno.
Dog, that guy's crazy. I had a dream the other day.
Or Chris Hero to those who know him as that.
Man, I had a dream that Sheamus left WWE and went and joined the Blackpool Combat Club and just took Wheeler out.
Dude, he's right there. He is right there in 2024. Dude, what does Sheamus have left to do in WWE? What does he have left to prove?
He's done everything. He literally did everything. Like
he's literally done everything except the Intercontinental Championship, and that Intercontinental Championship is just not going to happen because, I mean, I thought that Intercontinental Championship was going to lock almost at WrestleMania, and then Gunther retained, which I don't mind that. I love Gunther. I think Gunther's fantastic. I think he's honestly the best champion in WWE right now. But I digress.
Sheamus definitely.
But yeah, Sheamus going over there to be a part of the Blackpool Combat Club would be great. I know it says full Geat.
Full Geat.
I'll switch that later on. But yeah, I mean, the match is cool for what it was, but I did like the ending sequence of everything here, though. So Yuta starts to turn things around with a German suplex, but Hook reverses out of his second one and hits a German suplex of his own to Yuta. Both men end up down on the canvas as the referee begins to count. The men take until the count of 9 to get to their feet, and Mox runs in to get involved after a tag. But he got cut off by Orange Cassidy. Mox ends up taking a massive orange punch, but basically it just didn't even phase him. It did nothing to him. It did not phase him at all. The surprised Orange Cassidy, and he wanted to do another one, but Mox tags in Wheeler, and the Death Rider, followed by the seatbelt pinning maneuver by Wheeler Yuta, got the BCC, the win, and the Blackpool Combat Club pick up a win over Orange Cassidy and Hook. Now, Wheeler Yuta defeated Orange Cassidy, basically. Orange Cassidy was the one pinned here. This is a very interesting matchup heading into Full Gear, man, because we all know Moxley was the champion before things kind of got out of hand and he got hurt with the concussion, and they called an audible to have Orange Cassidy get the championship back. Orange Cassidy hasn't held this championship for that long, I would say. I mean, he won the title at I don't even remember when he won the title.
It was the last pay-per-view, wasn't it? I think.
Are you talking about Mox or or Cassidy?
I think Cassidy. I think. I can't remember.
Let me take a look at this real quick. I'm gonna look it up because honestly, it's definitely better suited. Okay, so yeah, Orange Cassidy went on this whole 326-day reign with him. Then Moxley won the title at All Out. Right, that whole thing happened, and then they had the match at Grand Slam. I remember this now. It was gonna be Moxley versus Rey Fénix. It was Moxley and Rey Fénix for the championship, but where Rey Fénix had to win the championship because Mox got concussed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Orange Cassidy defeated Rey Fénix on an episode on Title Tuesday, the NXT Title Tuesday special thing that they got going on.
Okay.
And that whole thing happened. So he's held the championship for 35 days. Orange Cassidy. You would think it's too soon for Orange Cassidy to lose the championship here, but Mox was never supposed to lose the championship.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't. He only lost the championship to Rey Fénix because he got concussed in the match at Grand Slam. So I'm thinking he just wins the championship back from Orange Cassidy and we just go back to business being usual with Moxley as champion. But Tony Khan loves Orange Cassidy. And he can honestly just have him retain this thing here and Mox can go do something else.
That's why they put themselves in a really weird position with this championship. Because, like, there is no best option. I feel like it's just like you got to make a quick decision.
I was looking forward to the reign of Mox as international champion. I was.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy because I just wanted Cassidy to lose, and then they're like, "All right, let's just flip it," and I'm like, "Okay, this is not gonna." I feel like we're going backwards, kind of. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Because
I don't know what they're trying
Cassidy
to do.
is now a 2-time international champion out of the 5 reigns that this championship has had. As the international championship. Obviously, this was the All Atlantic Championship before the name change. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go with Mox when we do our Full Gear predictions later on in the day for Saturday. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of a toss-up because Tony Khan could go with either man and still do something with the title, hopefully.
Yeah, I definitely think they should go the direction of Mox if you're already looking at direction, because it's just like I feel like Orange Cassidy's run ended just him being like, all right, I'm tired. So you go back and it's like, okay, well, is he just not tired anymore? Like how do you revert back to how it ended? And it ended on a freaking amazing match. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yes.
What do you do? I think they just go with Mox, hopefully, and then just I don't know what you do with Orange Cassidy, but the international championship doesn't need him anymore. I feel like he's probably gonna have the best run of the championship we're gonna see for a little bit. So
right, he basically made that international championship what it was, and at the end of the day, he made that championship the workhorse title in AEW, basically the Intercontinental Championship of AEW. If you really want to go that route, and you can make it that way to get it there. Moxley grabbed the microphone after the match, running down Cassidy before promising that he will take back the International Championship and grind Cassidy down at Full Gear. He then drops the mic before BCC leave the ring and therefore the arena. So Mox brought the intensity. He wants that championship back. I think it's most likely going to happen, and we're just going to go back to business being usual with him as international champion because he was never supposed to lose the title in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm going to let this dog out real quick because this dog's barking up a storm, and I do not want anything to happen. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. My main issue with AEW has just been their handling of certain championships. I feel like they do certain stuff just to do it, and then when they get to a point where like, all right, we have to fix this, they panic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, especially with the mid-card championships. I think with the world title, they've done better. Actually, no, they haven't, because then the interim world championship started, and they do that with the women a lot, and the whole women's world championship shit is that's even worse than the international belt. So I don't know what they got going on, but I don't know. They need to start making decisions slower and not start just pulling moves just to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It seems like a lot of times when they have a title change, they're not prepared for what happens after the ref counts 3. They're just worried about, pop, and then they're not worried about the next week. That's the reason why Sarai won the world championship and nothing happened. That's the reason why you have so many championships that just get like skyrocketed on the people because of like an injury or a bot's move or something like that. And they're like, the first thing they do is panic and make a bad move. So, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely something they need to figure out before it's too late, because it's not a good look, you know? And I feel like it's not really hurting anybody more than the people you're taking these championship opportunities from. And it doesn't seem prestigious, you know? I'm not even really a big fan of Juice Robinson having MJF's belt. You know what I'm saying? I understand MJF is still a champion, but I'm not even a fan of him having the belt. It's like, I got this. It's just, I think I look at championships differently, and AEW hasn't done the best to me of handling certain championships. Most of them do. I don't feel are handled the right way. Like I don't know who the tag team champions are. The trios champions are the Acclaimed, I think, but it's whatever. Sheeta has a women's championship now, but she's about to lose to Toni Storm at any given day. There's all international stuff going on. Hook has a belt, but doesn't matter, and MJF's belt. I think that's all of them. And the TBS Championship, but Kris Statlander has that, and the championship hasn't been relevant since Jade Cargill had it. And that's just the way it is. They put so much more assets into Jade Cargill than they did to Kris Statlander. I have to keep reminding myself that Kris Statlander is TBS champion. That's no detriment to her. It's just the way it is. So it's a problem around all the championships. A lot of championships in this company do not get presented in the way that they need to be, unfortunately. Hopefully they can fix it soon, but it's a problem that goes with a lot of them.
I agree.
I got into a rant about how
I already know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to that. So
I got into a whole freaking ramble session about how Tony Khan doesn't treat the championships the way I think they should.
No, for sure. I feel like that's honestly common knowledge at this point. These championships should be positioned a lot better.
Yeah.
And the champions aren't really the problem.
Oh no.
It's the no stories or for these championships or just something like that. Like you gotta put these rivalries and stories with something.
Who are the tag champions?
The champions aren't the problem. Big Bill and Ricky Starks.
That's it. Okay. All right. I know that's it. All right. I totally forgot. Okay. Could they be FTR?
They should lose those titles at Full Gear because they haven't done anything with them. But
who they
Ricky Starks should not be in a tag team with Big Bill.
Oh.
It's a 4-way.
Oh, of course it is.
It's a 4-way with Rush and Dralistico, FTR, and Malachi Black and Brody King.
Does Buddy wrestle? I feel like Buddy never wrestles when I'm watching. Does he
But he hasn't wrestled in quite some time, no. But he's good. He's fine. I saw him at Collision. legitimately saw him at Collision. He was like 2 rows ahead of me because it was a collision in Connecticut.
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
fucking never
it's
wrestled.
just, I don't know. So we're back from commercial break, and the Golden Jets, that is Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, Kota Ibushi, and Paul Wight arrive in preparation for the Like a Dragon Gaiden street fight later tonight. The street fight was sponsored by a video game by Sega.
It looks
It's going to be
cool.
coming out soon. I don't know.
You got to
It's
see the
just,
game. The game looks hard. I ain't gonna lie. The game looked kind of fire. I didn't know. I think I like the game. It's kind of crazy.
as long as it was not presented by Leatherface again with a chainsaw, I was going to be fine with this.
Dear
It's
God.
just, that was terrible. They should never do that ever again.
We don't talk about that anymore.
That Walking Dead shit sucked.
Who
And
was
that
in
wasn't
the suit?
Walking
We
Dead.
still don't know who was in the suit.
That wasn't Walking Dead. What was that?
Texas Chainsaw.
Well, it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Regardless, whatever. The same. It's not the same difference, but regardless, I hated it. I hated it. So we're back at ringside. Tony Schiavone explained the situation between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland if they ever got into a physical altercation during this meetup. Both of them would be suspended, and the match at Full Gear would be called off. With that, he welcomes Swerve Strickland to the ring, along with Hangman Adam Page. Nana was there. He did his dance. Some people in the crowd were doing the Swerve dance, but not most. You guys need to get your shit together. I don't know where we were tonight, but you guys gotta do the Swerve dance. If you guys don't do the Swerve dance, it makes me think he's not over, but he is definitely over.
Absolutely.
You guys gotta do the dance. I do the dance randomly. That's another quirk from Marissa. Shout out to Marissa. That's another quirk of mine. I
Oh,
just
damn.
randomly
I
do the
didn't think
Swerve
about
dance
that.
at any points of the day.
I didn't think about that.
That's another quirk of mine. I just do it.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
It's great. It's a great time to do it. It doesn't matter any day. Any day, any time. You could just do it during your lunch break or whatever. It's fun. But
Not that guy.
But so yeah, we got this thing going. Paige stare down Swerve and smiled at him, and Shivani reminds them that whatever could happen cannot be physical because at the end of the day, you guys can get suspended. Swerve is asked to justify their reasonings on why he was at Paige's house, but Hangman interrupts and ran down Strickland. He says Swerve can't cut it, that he is not the man that he claims to be, before matching Swerve's energy and making it personal. He claims that by saying Swerve surrounds himself with yes men, all while letting Prince Nana make his living off of Swerve's back. Heyman then says that Swerve is a child, and because he teaches children, he will give Swerve the last lesson he'll ever have to learn. He won't need lawyers or cops because at Full Gear, Paige will be Swerve's judge, jury, and executioner. Paige stops for a moment before giving the last statement regarding the stipulation, saying that he and Swerve can't get their hands on each other as of right now, but that has nothing to do with Prince Nana. And he clocked Prince Nana in the face and started beating him down. And Swerve was just standing there watching this happen. He's like, I can't do anything. Guys, get in there. Do something. And then security came in there and separated them. And it was just kind of wild. This proved everything without a shadow of a doubt. This is going to be just as good as their first matchup. And this trilogy is just going to be one of the best trilogies that AEW has produced. It's fantastic.
I'm so excited because I've told this story many times, but Hangman was literally my first introduction into like finding something that I enjoy about AEW. And Swerve is good wherever he goes. So this is just like I'm watching two people that I love have a really great feud. And obviously they're two amazing wrestlers, but I think you do something like this with an actual story and it becomes that much better. And that's what they're finally doing. They're finally putting into this like the effort that they need to where this is not just a wrestling match, you know what I'm saying? They're fighting for a reason, you know.
Right.
Even when Hangman, I'm never really a big fan of when AEW superstars reference what happened in WWE, but I feel like tonight I actually enjoyed it when he mentioned like he got fired. I think that was a nice touch because Hangman was trying his hardest to hurt Swerve, and that would probably be something that hurts him. That he got fired from somewhere that he never really thought he could get fired from, you know? And that was like Hangman's whole story of like, even when Punk was there, people coming into his house and Hangman saying, "No, this is mine. You can't stay here." You know what I'm saying? That's been Hangman's thing for a while now, and I respect that.
Right.
The AEW's been like he's one of the I think he's definitely one of the founding fathers, right? If you like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically the elite of Kenny, Cody, and the Bucks that met up with Tony Khan, but Hangman was easily a part of that whole circle that got this company started, for sure.
Yeah. I always like that. He always plants his flag there. It's like, all right, this is mine. Anybody else who comes in from WWE or anywhere for that matter, this is still mine, you know.
Because you also have to remember, he was also a part of the first ever AEW World Championship match with the first signee of AEW ever, that being Chris Jericho. So, I mean, those two, along with the Bucks and Cody and Tony Khan, obviously, were the real ones that got this company off the ground and together. So, I mean, Paige having this kind of an attitude and a personality of like, this is my, not to quote Paige or anything like that, but this is my house. You know, like you're just not going to come in here and take this shit from me. You're going to have to kill me in order to do it. And that's basically what this whole Texas deathmatch thing is about.
There's a lot of house in this feud. AEW is Hangman's house, and then Swerve went into Hangman's actual house, and then Swerve said it's Swerve's house. It's a lot of house. A lot of house.
It's a lot of houses, but I mean, hell, this is going to be a great fight at Full Gear. And honestly, to me, whoever wins this feud, period, has to get at least some kind of, shot at championship gold. That being the international championship, that being the world championship, what have you. Swerve needs championship. A championship in 2024. He just has to, because I feel like he's definitely been ready for it, but this feud proved to me that he has to be a champion in 2024. Regardless of whatever title it is. He just has to have gold around his waist.
I would absolutely love that. He was one of the few people that I'm like, all right, well, when he first got to AEW, he was like, all right, you gotta go like full blast with him, but they didn't really do it. So
it was a rough start at first.
Yeah.
But then the pairing with Nana and everything like that just worked.
Absolutely.
And he doesn't even need the rest of the Mogul Embassy anymore. He doesn't need Brian Cage. He doesn't need the Gates of Agony. You can just have Swerve and Nana, and that's it. You don't need anybody else part of this.
I was hoping that wasn't like them telling us that they're about to break those two up. I really do not approve of that. Please don't do that.
They need to stay together because they work out so well with each other.
I don't want to say they need each other, but I feel like in a way they do because it adds another level of entertainment to what Swerve is doing. Swerve being the serious and not up in the back being stupid, you know what I'm saying? It adds a different level to me, you know?
And then when Swerve turns to Nana and is like, no dancing, not tonight. that adds to a whole other layer of the presentation that Swerve and Nana bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. And even if freaking
so like
at some
it
point Swerve
just
turns back
works.
face, even if Swerve turns back face
Right.
one time, like one day, then you don't even have to try, you know. Now it's already there.
Yeah, you can do the Swerve. You can do the Swerve dance, and it can be fine. Like
it's all right there for you, you know. So they have it in the
it's
middle of
all
their
in
head.
the
It's just,
presentation, and they got
yeah,
it.
it's
So
all
I
there
mean,
already.
it just works really well, and Swerve and Nana were a perfect fit. That I don't know whose idea it was to put these two together, but whoever it was, good on you guys because you found something.
That's all you need. All you need is one.
You found something, so good on them for finding that out. So backstage, Renee Paquette talks to Roddy Strong and the Kingdom. And Strong claims that he knows who the devil is, so he needs to call Adam!
Okay.
Adam! Cole. On the phone.
Screaming every freaking week, right?
Adam!
Shit is ridiculous, man.
You can't not love Roderick Strong. You can't.
That shit is hilarious.
Adam! He's like, Adam, I know who the devil is. And he's like, all right, entertain me. Who's the devil? He's like, MJF. It's like, Roddy, stop it. Shut up. He's like, Adam, no! It's him. Believe me.
It's like it physically can't be. I don't
He's
think.
like, Cole, and Cole's like, look, I gotta go, Roddy. I'll talk to you later. And then he hung up the phone. He's like, Adam! He doesn't believe me.
Like, why would he? He just physically
like,
can't
well,
beat him right now.
Why would he? So he's just like, whatever. So that whole thing, I legitimately think it can't be MJF because at the end of the day, you saw everything happen last week.
Yeah.
The devil and his goons attacked the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, and then MJF ran to the back to see them get attacked, or to see them already attacked. So it can't be MJF. If it is MJF, it's a huge mess.
I think it's Jeff Hardy. I don't.
If it's MJF, it's
cool?
terrible.
Bro.
Jeff Hardy. What does Jeff Hardy have to do with the devil?
If he takes that mask
and
off,
who are his worshippers? If it's Jeff Hardy,
everybody, me.
Who are the worshippers? If it's Jeff Hardy,
it's me.
Matt, the kids, Rebby.
Yeah, Matt, Zay.
You. I mean, dude.
You got brother Zay over there. You know what I'm saying? You got mad people. The whole Hardy countdown. Just bring the whole Hardy countdown
Ethan
back.
Page.
Yeah.
Matt, Zay, Ethan Page, and Rebby. Those are the other four.
And Maxwell. And freaking King Maxwell.
And then the kids.
Exactly.
Maxwell right? and what's the other kid's name? He has like 5.
He has mad kids.
I think Wolfgang is one of them.
Yeah,
I think he has the son named Wolfgang. Regardless, there's a lot of small ones. Maxwell's small, but he's like 7, bro. I think.
If they never take that mask off and I see Jeff's face, I'm going to lose it in here. Oh,
I'm going with Adam Cole.
I'm going with Adam Cole.
I'm going with Adam Cole. I don't think this ankle injury is as big as they're making it out to be. I think he's hurt. I'm not saying that he's not hurt. I just don't think it's going to be as drastic as they're making it out to be.
Interesting.
Because people are also telling me, Phil, it's CM Punk. If it's CM Punk, I'll come onto this podcast with no shirt.
I don't want to see that, Phil. I don't think you should do that. I just think
that it's not gonna be CM Punk, so you won't have to worry about it. But it's not CM Punk.
What if it is? Though? And then, like, what happens then? Like,
then I'm coming to this show with no shirt on. I mean, you've been telling me to take off my shirt for ages. It's just it'll happen.
I didn't think you were actually gonna do it. That was a joke. I didn't know. That's crazy.
People also tell me that it's Jungle Boy. It's not Jungle Boy. If it's Jungle Boy, it's a huge miss.
I'll be pissed.
Why would Jungle Boy? Why would Jungle Boy get suspended just to come back as a devil? And who are his people that he is associated with? Who are those worshippers that attack everybody? What? Luchasaurus? Christian?
Him. Oh God, no.
Nobody.
Christian.
Dude. It's not Jungle Boy.
Okay.
I'm going with Adam Cole. Adam Cole makes the most sense. Now, I don't know who the other people that he's going to be associated with are, but I think it's Cole. I don't see it at being anybody else.
I'll be very surprised if it was Cole. I'll be very surprised.
Either way, you have to make this reveal interesting and important. Because if it flops, people are not going to tune into AEW. People aren't tuning enough to AEW as it is. You got to make this work.
Do you think you got a reveal on Saturday?
On Saturday, I don't think it's going to be happening Saturday, but I mean, there's going to be something involving with the devil when it comes down to that championship match. I think everything happens at World's End. I really do. With the devil, with MJF's contract, I mean, I think everything is going to happen at World's End. That pay-per-view name has something to do with it. World's End.
Right.
Like, there's something going on with that.
You're probably right.
It just depends on how they figure it out. Then we got into this championship qualifier match between Red Velvet and Skye Blue way earlier than what we expected it to be.
Yeah,
it's not 9:30 yet. It's not
crazy.
9:30. It was like 8:45.
I love it.
And this match went hard because not only did we get mad cake in this match, but they got really physical in this. They got really physical in this. Skye Blue killed it. Red Velvet killed it. This was fantastic. They were talking about colors during this matchup and everything because of Skye Blue, Red Velvet. I mean, it's just... They were talking colors all match.
I love colors. I love both of those colors. Those are great colors. My favorite color is red. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy blue as well. I you know.
My favorite color is blue. So we got the best...
You know what I'm saying?
Of both worlds.
We out here.
Raw versus SmackDown, right there. I mean, it's legitimately right there.
You know exactly what it is, Phil.
Sure. No, but in all reality, Red Velvet, she killed it tonight. So did Skye. Red Velvet returned that action last week after being injured for 9 months, basically, and we have, somebody in Skye Blue who is just absolutely, just earning her stripes and getting things going when it comes to her AEW career. This was really nice because it had stakes, it had meaning, and this is just a good match overall.
Yeah, I think it looks like they're about to do something with Skye Blue as far as like a character change, I guess. I'm not sure really what it is, but I'm invested into it. I don't know what she's going to be a part of, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me what she's a part of. I'm probably going to be invested in it. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm also extremely happy for Red Velvet too, because I didn't think that she'll be back now, like not now, but like this early. You know what I'm saying? And to be already like a back.
She's been out of action for 9 months.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's been long.
Time.
It's been a long time.
I feel like it's time to get her back.
The last time she was there, Jade was still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It was
then
9 months ago, back in February. She had to have been there in February.
I don't know where Kiera's at. I think she's on Ring of Honor still, but it's just
Yeah,
everyone
Hogan's on
went their
Ring of
separate
Honor.
ways. Yeah, so it's just, everyone went their separate ways since then. So I'm like very happy that she returned and now she's finding her way, doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? So not to
And
mention the
Velvet's
matches
popular
too.
with the crowd. I mean, you can see
Yeah,
that. You can see she's
absolutely.
popular with the crowd. So is Skye. I mean, does that all the makings of being something great for that TBS Championship Contenders match? And it was. Um, you know, uh, we got back into a corner with Velvet and Skye going onto the turnbuckle, but Velvet drops Skye to the canvas hard before making the cover, and Skye kicked out. Skye then fights back with a kick, but Velvet returns to favor, only for her to hit the code blue, giving Skye the pinfall victory over Red Velvet, and Skye Blue advance to the triple threat that happens at Full Gear for the TBS Championship. It's Skye Blue and Julia Hart as the challengers, with Kris Statlander as the champion. So, should be a good triple threat for Full Gear.
They're starting to. But they've been losing me with the whole TBS Championship stuff, but I don't know. It's just that
I'm
not putting as
hoping
much
for a new
effort.
champion on Saturday, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Bro, I said this as soon as Jade lost. I'm like, they're not gonna put that much. They're not gonna give her as much time as they gave Jade. They're not, and
No.
they're showing, because I keep forgetting who's the TBS champion. I literally keep forgetting, and it's like, I don't know if it was because Jade was champion for so long, but at the same time, they always put her at the forefront of the show. It may not have been the best match, it may
Well,
not have
that's
been
a
the
part
longest
of
match.
it. Well, that's
Yeah, they just
it's a part of that, But Jade holding the championship for so long, and then Kris being the one to defeat Jade, they don't push that. They don't push that narrative out there. If they
yeah.
pushed out the narrative of Kris Statlander being the one to defeat Jade Cargill throughout this entire championship run, then it would mean something. But they don't, because Jade's
They
not in
never
the
say it.
company anymore.
Yeah.
Jade's not
Even
in the
so,
company anymore, so you really can't say anything.
I don't see why not. Everyone knows it. We might as well say it.
Like, you should be able to say it. You should be.
Yeah,
But I don't
everyone
think they
knows.
are.
There's
Everyone
only
knows what
been so many
happened.
champions. Yeah,
There's only been one other champion in the TBS Championship Reigns history, so you gotta say
exactly.
it.
At some point, people are going to realize, oh, who was the champion before that? Oh, her. You know, oh, she's not here anymore. Okay, cool. And then we move on. No one's harping on the fact that Jade isn't there anymore. We know that already. You know,
Right.
these
I
are all
mean, it
common
doesn't
known
hurt.
facts. Yeah,
It doesn't hurt the fact of everything that's happening. Like, if you pushed the narrative of her being the one to defeat Jade Cargill, this championship reign would have been looked at so much of a different light. But
absolutely.
they don't do that, and the fact that see, this whole thing, the fact that Kris Statlander is not really shown much on TV, that's also another problem with this, because with her not being on TV, you have people like Loff here who forget that she's the champion, and it's not his fault. It's AEW for not showing her, for not showcasing her.
I think I don't even want to like forget,
Like, it's
because I
not
don't have a
Loff's fault
problem
that
with
he
this. You
forgot.
know? Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
you put someone at the forefront for so long. When that person isn't there anymore, you have to now transfer that energy over. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there's a long
now
champion, you
Kris
have to
Statlander
go to
was
people.
always supposed. Yeah, Kris Statlander was always supposed to be the one to defeat Jade Cargill, but then she got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that first time that she was supposed to face Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship before she got hurt, she was going to win the championship then.
Mm-hmm.
But she got hurt. She was out for those first few months. She was out for those few months, and then it got to as long to being in the 500-day plus reign of Jade Cargill being the champion. They just kept her as champion all that time because it was supposed to be Kris all that time. So the championship reign was not supposed to last 500 days, but because of everything that happened with Kris, it got to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who knows what would have happened if things actually worked out in the way that it did, and she didn't get injured. But
yeah,
even then, you know,
things change, but at the same time, things stay the same.
It is what it is. I'm actually right. I'm hoping for a new champion on Saturday, but I'm most likely just going to pick Kris at the end of the day because, if anything, World's End, again, is going to be a big show. And we could possibly see a new TBS champion then. World's End is going to be huge.
I expect it to be.
On many occasions.
I definitely expect it to be.
So there you go. So we saw a video package of Miedo talking about CJ Perry bringing out the worst in him and how Daniel Garcia will find out firsthand what it looks like at Collision. I don't know if are they facing each other at Collision? I think that's what I saw.
I assume so.
I think it's Daniel Garcia versus Miedo on Collision. Sure, I guess. It's happening on Friday. Collision's happening on Friday. So.
Oh. Okay.
Well, it's usually Saturday Collision, but Full Gear is on Saturday, so they preempted it to Friday.
Oh yeah.
Collision and Friday SmackDown are happening at the same time.
Okay. I had a damn theory.
So Collision is going to be dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch. I do enjoy watching Collision. So SmackDown's kind of sometimes, but I mean, I had an awesome theory about Rampage too. Slash Rampage and theory, Rampage and fucking Collision. One of those shows, probably Rampage, because Rampage is the least out of those shows. I think they need to make one of them an all-women show. Yeah, they need to make one of those shows an all-women shows. All-women show.
I would much rather have Rampage be that, to be completely honest.
I like you make an all-women show. I've been waiting for one of these companies to do it. None of them want to do it. I think that's what you do, because no one watches Rampage.
And no one's barely even watching Collision anymore either, which sucks. But
that's another thing they have to figure out as well, because that's as much as I would want to say it, that's the freaking CM Punk effect, you know. So
it is. When Punk left, that show died.
And that's why you don't put all your assets in one person, because God forbid that person goes away, and now you have a show that is headlined by Ric Flair. Yay, Rick. Now I'm supposed
That's why
to
I honestly wanted this soft brand split to be a hard brand split, so we can actually have rosters for both of these shows and actually get storylines for both shows.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work. It didn't go that way.
But that's the thing; they can't even do that, because then you lose. Dynamite isn't on strong enough legs for them to lose certain people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who do you bring over?
And that's why this whole soft. That's why this whole soft split works in a way, because basically anybody can show up on Collision and make it work. But I mean, you would think with AEW Dynamite being basically the flagship show like Raw, and Collision being their version of SmackDown, so to speak, you would have those two shows be different from one another and you can make it happen. But
plus, and they've never showed animosity. They've never really showed animosity with each other like Raw and SmackDown always did. They never showed like, oh, I'm mad that you're on Collision, unless it was like real anger with like the Punk and the Elite and stuff like that. So they never showed the
Punk
real
banned the Elite from ever going to Collision. in the first place. So it's like,
in theory, you could have ran with that, but
but now that Punk's not there, they can show up.
Yeah,
and they do.
So it's like, what do you do?
But now with Punk's not there, the Elite have shown up on AEW Collision on multiple occasions. And it's like, okay. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know what they have to do when it comes down to Collision, but Collision is dead, and it's been dead since Punk left, or Punk got fired. And again, like Lon said, that's what happens when you put all the things in that. Yeah. They can fix it. They just choose not to. I don't know why.
I think that's the only fix you got, because making a new signing, say if they got Mercedes on Saturday, cool. Make her, bro, Phil. If they, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you this. What time is it? 11:32 on a freaking. This is a Wednesday. If they sign Mercedes on Saturday, for the love of God, they're going to make her the face of Collision.
That's what they're trying to do with Brian, and then Brian got hurt again.
They're going to do it again, because that's part of the reason why I don't want this to happen, because you're not doing this for the correct reasons. You're now doing it to pop a rating every single week and just plaster Mercedes' face in the front. You know?
I told you from the very beginning that Collision would not be a possibility, or even it would not even exist if it wasn't for CM Punk. CM Punk got Collision off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now that Punk's not here, Collision is dead. So if you're going to put somebody as the face of Collision again, you better make it a good one, because at the end of the day, if that superstar is hurt or gone or whatever, it's going to be dead again.
Yeah.
You can't put somebody as the face of a brand, because at the end of the day, they get hurt, or if they are gone for the next couple of months, what do you got? Have the roster, get the roster in check, get your storylines in check, put good wrestling out there. And at the end of the day, those three assets right there, that's what you should build your brand on. Not for one guy or girl.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid they're going to sign
That's
her.
That's what AEW should be focusing on. Because their wrestling is top notch every single time. Nobody can deny the in-ring performance of AEW. And if you do,
oh no,
I don't know what the fuck you're looking at. But at the end of the day, you just can't put it on one person to make a show that much bigger. Because let's face it, look what happened to Rampage. The first episode of AEW Rampage, the first dance, or the last dance, or whatever they call it. Punk returned to professional wrestling in over 7 years. Did a 1.2 million rating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're into 300s. Well, that's because Rampage has been, Rampage is taped. They don't give a shit about it. They just put random matches on there. It's basically AEW's version of Superstars.
That's what I'm saying. And
they don't care.
I've never seen a show start off with that and then just drop off the face of the earth that quickly. Like, you started off unbelievably hot.
The second episode of AEW Rampage. The second episode of AEW Rampage, Christian won the TNA Championship, Impact World Championship from Kenny Omega.
That was a great match too. Oh shit.
And then the third week, that's when everything kind of just went downhill. You did those two great moments of Punk and Christian, and that was it.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. So we're back from commercial break after everything that happened with the video package with Miro, and RJ City is standing out there with Mariah May. Mariah May is super excited to meet Toni Storm, and it takes a moment, but at the end of the day, we get from normal colors to a black and white screen. Luther allows Mariah May to come into the locker room, and they have Mariah May meet Toni Storm. Um, they say hello to each other, but then she cuts off by Storm, who offers, Mariah May something, and Storm calls Luther to go get a tune-up match for her on Friday, and Mariah May said, "If there is anything you need from me, just let me know." This whole Mariah May and Toni Storm thing is going to work out. I fully believe in it. They just have to do a little bit more than what they just got to continue building on this thing. That's all.
Yeah.
We did not talk about it last week because we weren't here last week. But how did you feel about the debut of Mariah May? Because I felt that was completely flat. You just say, "Oh yeah, here's our new signing, Mariah May." Just in a random backstage interview with RJ City. I just felt like that was kind of just a bland way to go about it, but what else were you supposed to do, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been bigger, but at the same time, it just came out of nowhere. So, I mean, I definitely think it could have been bigger because a lot of people were just acting like they didn't know who she was. And as I said, they didn't know. But
Well,
it did seem out of
people
nowhere.
don't know. If you really don't know her, you really don't know her. And there's no
Yeah.
fault for that. It's just
It's
But for the
just,
people that are just saying, "Who the hell is she?" You can look things up.
like, obviously she's a big deal if they brought her in like that. Obviously she something, you know what I'm saying? So it's that's what I
Right.
never liked. But I mean, it's just you have, I don't know. AEW does debuts weird. Sometimes they'll be like, "Wow!" Then other times they'll be like, "Oh yeah, she's here." It's just they do it
See,
weird. So I don't know.
the pinnacle of an AEW debut is what they did with Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole.
Oh man, that was a great
Then you
match.
have something with Mariah May. Real, it's just a
Well,
hi,
like when
how are you?
Swerve showed up, Swerve came out and he was just like, he signed a contract, and I was like, okay.
Christian Cage. A
How did
prime
I don't
example.
know.
Tony Khan did this whole thing. He's like major announcement of a huge signing coming to AEW, and it was Christian Cage, and everybody hated it because Christian Cage, really, you have Christian Cage of all people be this huge signing, and now look at where he is. Obviously, one of the best heels in the business. Period. Come at me, I don't care. He is one of the best heels in
No,
this
you're right.
business. Like, people were ragging all over Tony Khan, saying, "Really? You have Christian of all people join this company," and then he turned out to be one of the best things ever. So if you don't remember the Christian Cage flop debut off, go check back on it because people did not care for it at all. Um,
I ain't
but
gonna
yeah,
lie.
I mean,
A lot of this stuff I blame purely on Vince McMahon
it's fair.
because the way he treated Christian for years was just like he's an actor. Oh my god, touchdown! The way he treated the way he treated Christian for years
Well,
was
he
just
was
like,
always second fiddle to Edge,
yeah, you
always.
know. So why would they care?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think about. Like why would they even care at that point when he came in? It's kind of like the way Tony Storm left with a pie in her face. Tony Storm left there with a freaking pie
Yes.
in her face to WWE's Golden Girl, and now she's doing some of the most like insane work that she's ever done ever. and it's like
this is the best that Toni Storm's ever done.
Yeah,
to me.
it has to be. She's always been the
I mean,
same
I don't
character.
remember a period of time where Toni Storm looked better than this.
And it seems like it's natural. It's working with the fans. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Mariah May there, and it's like she's gonna bring a whole different aspect of it. They can get a whole Trish and like Mickie James thing going on.
Yes,
it's crazy.
It's exactly what I first thought of when I saw that dynamic in the dressing room together. So I mean, it works out, and you can see that Toni Storm is living this thing out, to the fullest extent. I mean, she looks happy doing a gimmick like this. Like, she's doing very well with this, and I don't know if this was Toni Storm that said, "Hey, let me have the ball and let me run with it," but if this is all her, good for Toni, because again, you found something.
Yeah.
Once you find something you want to lock on and you want to roll with it, let him. Because who knows what can happen. I'm just hoping for the best when it comes down to Mariah May at this point.
Yeah, I think I trust him. I think I do. But it's just like they always find a way to scare me, and like they always find a way to mess it up. So I'm like, I'm hoping to God they don't mess up Mariah and Mercedes in the same sense. And I think they have a lot of assets to make this work. So in theory, it shouldn't mess up. But I've seen it happen before. So
I feel like they wouldn't have put her along with Toni Storm this quickly if they didn't have something planned.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, we get things going. So
yeah,
it's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
So then, so I mean, we saw all this take place here. And now we are back at ringside where Samoa Joe is making his way to the ring. It did feel weird with him not having the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, but I'm glad that he's not the Ring of Honor World Television Champion anymore, because he should be going after the World Championship of AEW, and he should be on Dynamite. He should not be relegated to Ring of Honor. So, there you go. We had Samoa Joe versus John Cruz. Some local indie talent here, wherever they were. Where were they? They were in Ontario, California. So, this was very academic. Cruz tries his best to get the early advantage over Joe, who easily overpowers him into a corner. Then, Cruz went to the top rope. He dives, and Samoa Joe did the Samoa Joe spot where he just walks away from the diving attack. I love it every single time. That's legitimately one of my favorite moves of Samoa Joe ever. He just walks away from a diving attack, and it's hilarious every time.
He's the best.
Samoa Joe is great.
Absolutely.
He then locked in a coquina clutch and got the submission win. So there you go. Joe got on the microphone after that, and he reminded all who he is before extending the offer of friendship to MJF ahead of Full Gear. But the time is limited, because whether MJF accepts it or not, he is Samoa Joe, and he is inevitable. The fact that Samoa Joe quoted Thanos tonight makes him even cooler. He is the Thanos of AEW. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Samoa Joe is the greatest.
No complaints for me. Another person, Vince McMahon, I hate you because how did you fumble him multiple
I
times?
don't know how you dropped the ball on Tony Storm and Samoa Joe.
Multiple times. Joe came back, and then they said they wouldn't fire him, and then they fired him again.
Right, that is what happened, didn't it? They said they will not fire him, and then they fired him again.
I never forgot about that, Phil. I think about that every day. Every day. I'm like, you got to be joking. You had him right here in that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar stuff. That was the one time we put someone in the middle of a storyline and it worked, and they're like, yeah, no, not gonna put the world title on him.
Look, I'll even give Samoa Joe his flowers on the commentary spot. The commentary stuff that he was doing for Raw for that little while that he was on commentary for were great. He was fantastic over there.
Samoa Joe is good at everything, and then they just don't care. He's just perfect, and they don't care.
We then got the video package of the Continental Classic being announced by Bryan Danielson and I was gonna say Tony Schiavone. That wasn't him. Tony Khan. We haven't talked about this either, Wob. How do you feel about this whole Continental Classic thing? Because I think it's gonna be great. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I saw it.
Because I mean, we can run through it again. It's not a problem.
I don't. The tournament thing, I feel like they do tournaments a lot, and
they go through tournaments a lot. They do.
Yeah, it's like.
But this one
doesn't do them enough.
This one's good though.
But they do. It seems like it is.
I feel like because it's a round robin tournament of 12 superstars throughout 6 weeks, I believe, ending at AEW World's End. Again, another thing that happens at World's End. And with everything being the whole round robin thing, this could be AEW's version of the G1 if they want to go that route. And we all know the G1 Climax is fantastic. It just depends on two things. Primarily, two things. Who's going to be a part of this tournament? And how's this thing going to be laid out? Because you got Bryan Danielson in this tournament. He's the only person that we know of so far.
Yeah.
And I love this whole Continental Classic, startup and everything like that. But you got to figure out the blocks for these participants. And you just got to figure out who's going to be a part of it. Because Bryan Danielson said that this was going to be the best tournament AEW's ever produced. And it should be. And Tony Khan said that this is going to be 12 of AEW's best in this tournament. Which it should be. But if I see Jeff Jarrett anywhere in this fucking tournament, it's already a done.
Jeff Jarrett. Yeah.
You need to stack this shit to the gills. You need a ton of great people in this tournament.
Yeah, hopefully.
You gotta treat this right.
Yeah.
Because this is the first ever round robin tournament that AEW's had. And it's going to be a yearly thing. And what does the winner get? What does the winner get? That's also another thing.
Right, it's a world title shot.
I mean, you would hope it's a world title shot, right? I mean,
yeah.
To me, I would have it be a world title shot at All In. That's what I would do, personally.
Yeah.
The winner of this round robin tournament gets the main event of All In. That would be great.
That makes sense.
That's long term right there. Because, I mean, All In doesn't happen until August, but I mean, hell, you know, tournaments that bleed into other shows, I mean, dude, it's a recipe for greatness right there. You just gotta make it work. Because Bryan Danielson's already wrestling at All In. We already know this.
Yeah.
Which I laughed when Tony Khan said that, because you're banking on a lot of things go right. You're banking on Bryan not getting hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to either wrap him in bubble wrap, or you're just not gonna book him on shows to get him to All In.
That's the thing that's freaking me out about that, because like
it's crazy, because like you don't know what can happen, man.
I'm extremely worried about that.
He's already going to be competing in the tournament with a broken orbital bone.
That guy just doesn't care. I think he just doesn't care about anything, and it's like
Cool. He doesn't care.
He's like, I'm gonna wrestle. Like I'm not gonna tell you no.
I respect the fuck out of Bryan Danielson, but dude.
Amen.
The Bucks versus Penta and Komander. This was good for what it was, but at the end of the day, the Young Bucks turned heel in their home state, which is a very weird decision. And it is what it is. The Bucks got the win here. Matt and Penta exchange strikes before Nick tags in. But so too does Komander, who leaps off the ropes into a low blow by Nick Jackson. Then Nick Jackson low blows Penta. The referee at this time was dealing with Matt. So Matt was getting dealt with in the other corner, so the referee did not see the two low blows by Nick Jackson. Then Nick Jackson hit a Judas effect on Penta. So shout out to Chris Jericho. And then the Bucks hit a BTE triggered on Komander and got the pinfall victory of 1-2-3. And the Bucks win this matchup here. So they turned heel in their home state. Doesn't really make much of a look of sense, but you're going up against Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, who are red hot right now as a team. Somebody had to be a heel, I guess, so it had to be the Bucks.
Yeah.
People don't like the Bucks anyway, so.
I'm completely on board with that. I hate him already, so if now I'm being told to hate him, cool.
Yeah, people don't like the Bucks anyway, so it is what it is. People don't like the Bucks because of the whole Punk situation. People just don't like the Bucks like Love here. It's a win-win, I guess. I don't know.
I hate their faces. I hate their faces. Man.
We then come back from commercial break, and the Bucks are asked why they cheated to win their match. And they were confronted by Kenny Omega, and they tell them to keep it clean before the pay-per-view. Jericho then steps in, running the Bucks down before he gets blindsided by them. And this leads to a quick brawl before security intervenes and separates them. And then we got announced again that tickets go on sale for All In about like a week or two. We already know this. We know that they are going to be on sale. Tickets are going to be on sale for AEW All In. We know this. We don't care. We can't go anyway.
Yeah, really, no.
I can't go. I don't think Love can go.
Absolutely,
we can't go. I'm going to be spending my money enough as it is for WrestleMania. I can't go to All In. I love to go to All In to meet all the UK fans out there for, either Wrestle Talk or fans of this show, which I don't know if fans from the UK are a part of the show or whatever, but regardless, would I love to meet him? Sure, but I can't. I can't go there yet. It's a dream of mine to go to the UK at one point in time, but I can't.
Absolutely. At some point, yeah, but now it ain't gonna happen.
Like, I don't know why, but a dream destination for me to ever just be in is Ireland. I don't know why I want to go to Ireland so bad, but I want to go to Ireland. I don't know why. I know there's probably nothing to do in Ireland, but I don't know why. I just want to go see it.
No, I assume there's lots to do in Ireland. I just never heard anyone verbalize it. I never thought about it. It seems like
I don't know why I want to go there so badly, but I do.
It seems like a great place. I never.
From what I know, it's just, from what I know, there's just mass amount of green.
That'd be cool to see.
Just green everywhere.
I like that.
Just green. Just the color green. Trees, abundance. Grass, plentiful. It's just green.
My allergies gonna go crazy over there.
I don't know. It's just crazy. So yeah. We then get the Bucks. No, not the Bucks. The Guns versus Jacoby and Peter Avalon. I don't know who this Jacoby bro is. I know who Peter Avalon is, but I don't know who this Jacoby guy is. This doesn't mean anything, as this is a very quick match here. Avalon got sent right into the ropes, and Jacoby got hit with the 310 to Yuma. 1, 2, 3. Win.
All right.
It was a one-match move. A one-match move. And the Guns win. The Guns then cut a promo saying, MJF, you may have the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles now, but you're not going to have them for long. Guns up. That's it. That's it.
I'll take it, I guess.
Wardlow promises that MJF's days are numbered. And then we got a glimpse of the Devil once again. So the Devil is making his rounds in AEW once again. We then got the Like a Dragon Gaiden street fight between the Don Callis family and Brian Cage versus Jericho, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Paul Wight.
Well,
it's a different well this time. It's not well.
It sounds weird. It's like wow. Sounds like you're fucking crying. I don't like the new one. This is crazy, man.
Oh, and by the way, Lop, I don't know if you noticed or not, but Jericho is now copywritten by Jericho. He owns the copyrights to Jericho.
Oh, they're gonna bring it back. Oh dear God.
You can't bring it back. His name is Paul Wight.
Paul. Oh, God.
Wight.
Wight. Oh. They're gonna bring it back, man. Oh my, come on, man. Oh. I don't want to see that.
I don't know how WWE does not have the copyrights to that shit, man. Jericho wasn't even all that good. Even the music was terrible.
They probably didn't want to copyright because how bad it was. That's how I assume. Why we got brain? This is trash. You can have it. Go ahead.
This match was an absolute. This match was a car wreck. It was a freaking car wreck. It was anarchy in the arena for free TV.
Man.
I can just go over some spots now. Big Show got slammed onto a hood of a car by Powerhouse Hobbs. That was something. Kyle Fletcher, Tombstone pile driven Kota Ibushi through a sign that was on steel chairs, which was freaking brutal. We saw many V triggers. We saw mass amounts of Judas effects. Powerhouse Hobbs got duct taped to the ropes and V triggered and Judas affected and all this kind of a deal. This was just a car wreck in every way, shape, and form.
My God.
And this is for the final half hour of the show. This match went a half hour. And even more.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all, but I mean, I see what their goal was, I guess.
Like, so we're back in the ring. Hobbs charges at Jericho, only to take a knee strike by Kenny Omega and then a Judas effect right after. But he got right back up like it was nothing. Yep. Powerhouse Hobbs gets it with a V trigger and a Judas effect, and he just takes it.
He does.
Omega and Jericho look to cut him off by trying to tie him up in the ropes and duct tape him before slapping some on his mouth to, just shut him up. Ibushi then finally recovers, handing over some chairs to Omega, who attack Hobbs with them before slamming another bottle on him. I guess they had bottles under the ring, and he just smashed one over his head.
Cool.
Only for Brian Cage to rattle him with a discus lariat. Cage then takes Jericho down next, setting him up for the drill call, but on Omega. But it's not effective as Omega counters it into a reverse Rana. Omega and his V trigger on Brian Cage and then Hobbs before driving Cage to the canvas with a one-winged angel and got the win. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, this match, Anarchy in the Arena for free TV. This match really meant nothing. They just did this match to appease the sponsor of this match, which was the Sega game that is coming out very soon. I don't mind AEW getting their bag when it comes down to these sponsorships. And I'm glad it wasn't as horrendous as that Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing.
Yeah.
But I just don't need these sponsored matches on my TV. I mean, I know we're going to get them. WWE does them too, but WWE doesn't have a giant Snickers bar mascot on, just dancing around. The only time that happened was the Prime Bottle, and that was KSI.
That's that damn Cinnamon Toast Crust match during a freaking blood feud with Ray and his son. They're like, and here's cereal. Just plastered everywhere.
And they did plaster that shit all over the arena. But, I mean, I just don't care for these sponsored matches, man. I just don't. Especially when it's something like this, because this match didn't really advance anything in terms of a story. Yeah, sure, Kenny Omega finally got a win over the Don Callis family, but that's it.
Bro.
It's basically all that happened in this.
The mat is going to look like a New Japan and WCW mat with just mad brands on it. Mad brands on the mat. I can't wait.
Kenny Omega finally got a win over the Don Callis family. Great. But at the end of the day, this really did not adjust anything.
Yeah, no.
And Paul Wight did nothing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
He did a chop to Powerhouse Hobbs, and then he got slammed on the car hood.
I love him, but I don't know what he got going on, man.
You did not need Paul Wight in this. You did not need Paul Wight in this. Brian Cage, I mean, they said on commentary that the Don Callis family enlisted the services of Brian Cage for this matchup here. He's not a part of Don Callis family. They just enlisted him for this match. I guess. Cool. But what does it prove? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, no.
And now we have Full Gear on Saturday, and it's like, what are these people going to be doing? Because Jericho and Omega face the Young Bucks. I don't think Kota Ibushi's not on the show. Takeshita's not on the show. Brian Cage is definitely not on the show, and Paul Wight, forget about it. Paul Wight's not on the show.
Yeah.
This was a one-off. Because I don't know what they're doing, but at the end of the day, this did not really advance anything.
Not much.
And then finally, the ending segment was MJF. MJF was here. All MJF has ever wanted to be was a world champion. Spent every moment trying to make that a reality, and he was proud when he was actually able to get to the mountaintop of professional wrestling. It's not all glitz and glamour, however, because the air up there is very thin. He sees men climbing up with the sole intention of shoving him back down the mountain, and then MJF is afraid that he is going to be letting the fans down. The fans then started to chant, "He's our scumbag," like he did with Adam Cole and the Acclaimed. And the old him would have just ran away, but he is afraid, but it'll take a whole damn army to take him down. MJF tells Jay that he has a chance to take MJF's spot at Full Gear, but he doesn't think Switchblade can. In fact, he doesn't think anyone can. Because his name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and he is better than you, and you know it. And MJF ends his message by saying, to the devil, whoever this person is under the mask, I'm going to figure out who you are, and there is going to be hell to pay. Then the Bullet Club Gold's music hits, and Jay White steps onto the stage, telling MJF to drop the act because you're embarrassing yourself. He's trying so hard to get the people to like him, but at the end of the day, that is not who MJF is, like we were saying earlier. He's always been the villain, and he always will be. MJF has said time and time again that he is the devil, and he is not the people's scumbag. MJF should know better, because people will drop him because he means nothing to them, and he doesn't give a shit about the fans. Jay says MJF knows his days of being the official AEW World Champion are numbered, and the Switchblade is simply better than MJF. If you're not down with that, he's got 2 words for you: guns up. So then, the Guns and Juice Robinson attack MJF at ringside, or in the ring, and that left a down and out MJF to get hit with a switchblade by Jay White, along with Juice Robinson and Jay White stand tall over MJF to end the show. And that's how the show went off the air. This all but proves to me that he's going to retain the title at Full Gear. Yeah. It's just, I wanted to make things a little bit more interesting with Jay White legitimately pinning MJF with Juice Robinson doing the 3 count. They did what they did tonight.
Yeah, MJF ain't losing.
I'm tired of
anytime soon,
MJF getting I'm tired of MJF losing most of these things. So hopefully, once we get out of this feud with Jay White, we'll get into a better spot.
Yeah, I think we will.
Because that whole show, I don't. Did you see the show where MJF was just scrambling like a sad puppy trying to find a tag team partner for
I saw that
his match
again,
against?
and I was like, it looked weird.
Dude, they made him look so weak during that entire show.
Yeah.
They made him look so weak, and then all of a sudden he lost by getting pinned by Jay White. That was the weakest I ever seen MJF look in the history of AEW.
At least they're telling you that he's going to win.
This attack here, I mean, it was one thing. This was not a match. This was a legit attack and everything like that. So you can see that with MJF not having any friends in AEW, this made sense in some degree.
Yeah.
But that match where it was basically an 8-person tag with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, which was predictable, but still, they made him look weak that entire time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you shouldn't make your AEW World Champion look weak at all. Or any World Champion look weak like that. I hate it when champions lose. Period. On TV. But
it's idiotic. It's not a hard concept to pull. You just don't have
hell,
them
even
lose.
if MJF went there, even if MJF went in that match alone, at least then he would have been like, you know what, fuck it. I can't find anybody, you know what, I'm gonna freaking die trying. Going out there alone, and then whatever happens. At least that, in a way, would have been a little bit better of a presentation than what we got.
Yeah.
But that was weeks ago at this point. This was the final show before AEW Full Gear. Not a bad show by any means, but with the one match show being this whole, dragon street fight thing, it was okay for what it was.
They did what they're supposed to do. Hopefully Saturday goes good. I mean, I don't expect anything different, but they did what they're supposed to do.
Do you know the rest of this card?
No.
Of the Full Gear card? We'll just run through it real quick. There's not like 15 matches, which is great.
Oh, thank the Lord.
There's 9, but
we're getting it's better.
It's better than 15.
Yeah.
So we have MJF and to be announced versus the Guns for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. That's happening on the buy-in. Then we got Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm for the Women's World Championship. Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne in a trios match. Oh, and Ric Flair is going to be in the corner of Adam Copeland, Sting, and Darby. So, Ric Flair is here. Orange Cassidy defends the International Championship against Jon Moxley. Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in the Texas Death Match. The Golden Jets and Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks. And if the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks' AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. But if the Bucks win, the Golden Jets are disbanded.
Damn.
Now, you're probably wondering, how did the Young Bucks have a tag team title match? They won that at what
All
is
in,
it?
Right?
All out. I don't think it was All In. at Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Dream, that's it.
Wrestle Dream.
Okay.
It was a 4-way for #1 contendership. They won it at Wrestle Dream, and so they have that. Kris Statlander defends the TBS Championship against Julia Hart and Skye Blue.
Okay.
Then we have Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against LFI and Rouge and Dralistico. FTR and the Kings of the Black Throne and Malachi Black and Brody King. And then MJF defends the AEW World Championship against Jay White. It's a good looking card. It just is probably still going to take 5 hours.
Yeah. Not bad at all, though. Thank God it's not 27 matches.
So, there you go. That's it for the Dynamite before Full Gear. They're going to be in the Kia Forum for AEW Full Gear. And then it's on to World's End at the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. And there's going to be a ton to look forward to on that show, as the AEW Continental Classic Tournament Finals will be there. Obviously, MJF is defending that championship in some way, shape, or form at that show. We don't know how, but he will be at that show tremendously. And there's a lot to look forward to for World's End. World's End is going to be a huge show.
All right. I ain't mad at it.
So there you go. That's it. If there's anything else Loft has to say, you can say it. But if not, we can get the hell out of here. And I can prepare some stuff for tomorrow, because I will be live tomorrow again here.
I ain't got nothing. My head hurts, so I'm gonna go to bed. That's about it.
Yeah.
I ain't got shit.
Alrighty, guys. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here on OTB. I'll see you guys live here tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but I'm going to be getting some stuff ready for that show tomorrow. I'll probably just get some stuff together, put some stuff together, and then maybe I'll do a live stream for I'll get back into Spider-Man again. I gotta get back into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do some Spider-Man stuff tomorrow, and then I'll do like an hour live here, just for fun, and then we'll get things squared away. So, I appreciate you guys for joining us right here on OTB, and we will talk to you some point later on in the day tomorrow. So, peace.